Ladies and gentlemen, once again, we welcome you on our program, The Radiant Truth, with your host, Mutsamasi. With me in studio are different men and women of God ready to usher you into this radiant truth. So, with me in studio, we have Minister Doris, we have Minister Isaac, we have Minister Gift, and lastly, our guest of honor for the day, we have Minister Donald. So, many people have been asking themselves, is work really a blessing or a curse? Different people view work in different dimensions. We want to talk about that. So, Minister Gift, what do you say about this? Is work a gift unto us? Is it a blessing or it is a curse?
Thank you, our dear host.
You're welcome.
According to me, I think since people always say that small work is a curse, others say it is a blessing, it is a gift. But according to me, I think work, I don't even think it is very true that work is a blessing to us. Work is a gift to us because it was given from God. It was ordained by God for us to work. What do I mean here? When you read in the Bible, there is where God says, because of time, I'm not going to go much into the Bible. Though, I'm going to be quoting.
Yeah, it's fine, the verse.
That whoever is unwilling to work should not eat.
Second Thessalonians 3:10.
Exactly. Whoever is unwilling to work should not what?
Eat.
Should not eat. Meaning that is probably telling that you should work and you do what? You get something or you earn something that is going to enable you to do what? To eat.
So work is a blessing.
It is a blessing and it is a gift. And someone who works really, or different the Bible quotes and whatever, if someone works, there is a way you become it. You become, of course, a rich person when you work hard. Not so. Compared to the other person who is ever seated begging people, not working, you know.
So those who work are, in most cases, not beggars.
Those who work, I think they should even thank God because it is a blessing, it is a gift from who? From God.
By the way, even God himself was a worker.
God himself was a worker in Genesis. By doing that work of creation, where he created this universe and he designed it with everything, mountains, rivers, lakes, forests, etc. That is the hand of who? That is the work of hand of God. When he finished that part again, he created a man using what? Using the hands and the clay. That is the work of God. Meaning the first person to be a worker was God himself.
Wow. So it is a blessing to work.
It is a blessing.
We have to work.
And the moment he said that I have placed you in this garden of Eden, where he was placing a man that was Adam and Eve. He was commanding them to fill the world and subdue and procreate. Now, if I can ask someone here, when you hear the word procreate, how do you understand? You have to add on what God has created, meaning you have to work. You cannot add on what God has created without working.
So we can't be co-creators without working.
You can't be a co-creator without working because you have to carry out mining, you carry out to fishing, all those things to add on the God's creation.
Okay.
That is my view about work.
Thank you so much. So people should work according to
People
Minister
should
Gift.
work according to
Thank
me.
you so much for your submission. So Minister Gift, Minister Doris, on the same thing, what do you say about work?
Yes, I see work is a blessing.
Okay.
It's not a curse. Yes, because right from the book of Genesis, just as Apollo said, we see that in the book of Genesis chapter 2, God put man after creating the world such that he would work and cultivate the land that God had already made. Therefore, that meant that even before God went ahead and cast work, work had to be there, people had to work. So the blessing came before the curse. Yes? And when we go to the book of Ephesians chapter 4 verse 28, it says that those who have been stealing must never steal again. Instead, they must work. They must do something useful with their own hands. Then they will have something to give to people in need. So if the word of God, the breath of the life of God is saying that it is through work that you have something to give to someone else. So if we are idle, and the Bible is against idleness,
Yes.
Therefore, where are
Devil's
we?
mind.
Yes. So where are we going to earn the living? Where are we going to help the people from if we do not work? Therefore, I urge our dear viewers to kindly engage in work, because even Jesus himself was a worker.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yes, and his parents, Joseph, he was also a worker, a carpenter. And even the great Bible writers like Paul were also workers. They worked.
Actually, was
Yes.
even a tent maker.
And he was a
yeah.
tent maker. And it was through the work of tent making where he used to earn and use that money to help the different churches where he wrote his letters to. Yes? So that shows that work is so important. Because if he did not work, he would not have written those letters.
Yeah.
Yes? So I tell my viewers, please, let us work. And I leave you with one of the great Bible scholars known as Timothy Keller. He says that work has dignity because it is something that God does, and because we do it in God's place. Therefore, we are co-workers with God.
Wow.
So when we are created on this world, we are working with God. Yes, to work, isn't it? Because He's still working up to now.
Yes.
Thank you.
Wow, thank you so much for that submission. Right now, I want our guest, what do you say about work? Should people really work or they should quit working? What do you say about work?
Well, thank you very much, our host. I believe as a Christian, work is a blessing
Wow.
because God Himself worked for several days before resting during the creation time. And like it's always said that an idle mind is the devil's workshop. So when you don't work, most times you're going to be idle, and the devil takes advantage of that.
Yeah.
Sometimes you may have other thoughts that may not be beneficial to you. So when you look at the book of Colossians, it encourages us to follow what God was telling us, that we have to work on a daily, not just earn a living, but emulate Him.
Wow.
So as Christians, we have to work. Because it's also said that unless you work, then God can add on to you more blessings. God helps those who help themselves. So you cannot just sit home and say, I will get food. From where? You have
Wait
to
for
work.
manna in the desert.
Yes, you have to work. So I believe work is a blessing right from the time of creation, and I encourage many Christians out there, let's embrace work, let's follow the teachings of the Bible, and let's continuously put it into practice. That if you don't work, you cannot eat. If you don't work, you cannot have anything.
Okay.
Yes. So I may not say much for now, but I believe work is a blessing right
Wow.
from.
So, Minister Donald, let me ask you a slight question. Is working for only men or only women? What's your view?
My view is that work is for everybody
Okay.
because no gender. Work is not meant for only one gender, a man or a woman, but everyone is called upon to work. Because those who followed Jesus were not only men.
Oh.
The disciples were men, but there were also many believers who are females. Though they are not mentioned in the Bible so much, but I believe all of us have to work, just like the Bible puts it. So it's not for a single gender like the males, but we all have to embrace it.
Wow. According to Colossians, we have to work. So thank you so much, our honorable guest, for that wonderful submission. So, Minister Isaac, what's your dimension or view about work?
Thank you for this opportunity, our dear hosts.
You're welcome.
And our viewers, I want to thank you for always tuning in the Radiant Truth. I want to thank my fellow panelists for their previous submissions. You sent us this motion, this topic, and it stated, work is deemed a curse. When you sent it, I found it very interesting, very intriguing, and I decided to do some research. But for lack of a better word,
Okay.
I feel like my panelists, my fellow panelists, are trying to deviate
Okay.
from the topic or motion. The topic, we are not demonizing work, and we're not saying that working is bad. No. Are we saying, is it a curse? Is it a blessing?
Okay.
According to the Bible, that's what we are discussing. Everyone out there should understand that working is important. When you try to to define work. Work, according to a certain scholar, they define work as an activity done by people to earn a living, develop society, and also satisfy their needs. Okay? Then, a curse. What is a curse? A curse is a pronouncement or condition that brings suffering, hardship, punishment, or misfortune as a consequence of someone doing wrong.
So a curse comes after someone doing wrong.
Someone doing
Okay.
wrong. And lastly, to deem is to regard something or to consider something. I want our viewers out there to first of all understand that yes, God was a worker, but before the fall of man, the kind of work that God wanted us to be was an enjoyable kind of work.
To live
Because,
in a good
yes.
paradise.
In the book of Genesis chapter 2, verse 15, it says that he put man in the Garden of Eden to work the garden. So he wanted him to work, meaning that work is not bad. But after man falling, God cursed him. So the type of work we inherited, it became a curse. It became burdensome. And that is our discussion for today. So for me, as Minister Isaac, I want to tell the viewers out there that the kind of work we are experiencing right now, it is burdensome. And this one can be biblically proven through Bible verses. When you read the book of Genesis, we won't read there, chapter 3, it shows all the kinds of work, all the kinds of curses that God gave to man. He told him that from your sweat, it's where you'll get something to eat. You'll always dig the ground, though it has thorns and thistles. What does that one mean? We shall always work in hardship. And it's the situation happening today. We
Some
always toil, not to some. I want to ask my fellow panelists here, when we say that it's a Monday, from the weekend, when we say it's a Monday tomorrow, how many of them feel happy?
They don't feel happy.
Some of us pray for even the weekend to continue, meaning that what they are doing is not enjoyable, but rather burdensome. It is something which you must just do. So for me, something
For the sake of surviving.
for me, something that we do in such a way, I regard it to be a curse.
Okay.
It is this work that we are having right now. It is not the original plan of God. It is a curse from the downfall of man. And if you keep reading the Bible, to clearly show you that it is a curse. We work and toil for all the days of our life on earth, but we go with nothing.
You came with nothing, you work, get everything, and then you
That's
go
what
with
the book
nothing.
of Ecclesiastes
Yeah.
tells us. You will work, you came with nothing, you will go with nothing. That's what it tells us. So, for sure, this is not the original plan of God. As a Christian, you should understand it. This is a curse that we are going through, but
So should people stop working because it is a curse?
No.
People
people should understand
Okay, let me
me.
first get a question from Minister Gift.
Okay.
Thank you, our host, once again. I'm hearing Minister Isaac's conversation about curse, that working is a curse, but I want to understand from Minister Isaac,
Yes.
to enlighten to us and tell us how this kind of work that is not cursed, how it looks like. Because it's like there is another type of work that we are not given, and we are given that one that is cursed.
Okay.
So I would like to know, and you tell us, and actually you give us some pictures and say this is the kind of work that is not cursed, that we were supposed to be doing right now. Not waking up early in the morning, going for work, rain, all those things. So can
good
you give us some
weekends.
picture and we see that kind of work, and because you have defined that work is that activity that you do and you earn something, not so. And I want you to tell us those types of work that you can do, you earn something, then it is not in the form of a curse.
Okay,
Just that.
I want
Okay, Minister
I want you to understand me, Minister Gift. The perfect and original plan that God had for us was to live in the garden. of Eden. Actually, if the downfall of man was not there, we would be in the garden right now. We would not have the radiant
Without
fruit.
working, just sleeping.
Would be in comfort zone.
Yes.
Tell me.
We would be working the garden.
Ah,
We would be working the garden. We would be co-creating, as you said,
how?
enjoying.
Who's creating?
But I thought
enjoying
co-creating is
ourselves.
working.
But because we inherited a curse, that's
Okay.
why we strive. And let me tell you, some of us strive. We work so hard and we even hardly get even time to enjoy the money we work for.
For our families.
We just even
Leisure.
barely survive, yet we work so hard.
But I thought by God working 6 days and resting 1 day, we have to work more than enjoying leisure.
Yes.
No.
Okay.
The problem that we need to understand is that we are living in a what?
Mm.
In a curse.
Okay.
It's only God who can save us.
But I thought we are blessed beyond the curse. Okay. Maybe.
There is a curse. Maybe if you want, I can support it with what? With biblical scripture. I've not answered you.
Yes. Me, I want to know that kind of work that is not a curse. Because you're saying that you could be in a garden of Eden, eating, enjoying, co-creating. Then when you include co-creating again, yet co-creating involves a lot of things, hands-on. And you can't do hands-on when you are not working. That is working automatically. I want you to show me those types of
So you want those examples?
Yes,
What
of
are-
work, which is
that
not
are-
cursed.
Yes, because they are opposite of what we are doing
Okay.
right now. Because God Himself created from
Okay,
Sunday up to
you're driving me.
and just one day.
You're driving me in a dimension of demonizing work. I'm not demonizing work.
Okay.
People watching the Radiant Truth should understand. I'm not demonizing
It's not
work. It
demonizing.
is very important to work, but the kind of hustle and struggle we are going through right now, it was not the original plan for man.
But I would like to interject also.
Yes.
Yes.
My question to Minister Isaac, when you say that work is deemed to be a curse, I also think it goes back to the mindset that we have these days. Some people look at it as a burden, but I believe work is not a burden. Just that some people have not embraced,
They have a negative
they have a
attitude.
negative
Yeah.
attitude. They feel to work is to burden yourself. Yes, because originally, even before the fall of man, God had already put that man would be in charge of the animals in the Garden of Eden. Even before the fall of man, it was already
Yes.
God's plan. That means man was still going to work as an overall supervisor of these creatures. But because of the contemporary world we are living in right now, people look at work as a burden.
That's why I
So
wanted him to tell me
yes.
those types of work that are in a natural way, not as a curse. But the answer is
Let me tell
Okay,
you.
Mr. Isaac, back to you.
Let me tell you.
Because
When you
besides
read the
before you
book
come
of
in,
the
because
yes, please.
because like I said in my introduction, God Himself worked for
Was a worker.
6 days,
and
This
rest
6
is just
days?
one
Yes.
and He took 1 day to rest, and that was before the fall of man. So I believe right from creation, we should embrace work.
Yes.
Yeah,
Positive
now
attitude.
we should have a positive
Attitude to work.
attitude towards work. Yes, that's good.
Yes.
But what I'm trying to explain to you is this was not the original plan of God. And when you sum up everything, we toil and we work ever since. I think you make 12, you're working.
So originally we were not supposed to toil.
You work and work. But when you sum it all, you realize that we are really striving for nothing. Because when you read the book of Ecclesiastes,
Minister Isaac,
5:15, let me just read this one for you.
yes.
A man is born naked. He comes into the world with nothing, and he goes out of it with nothing. He doesn't get anything from his work. Are you getting? This is the Bible telling you this. We are supposed to work, but the kind of work we are thriving in, it is not the original plan of our Creator. That's what I want you to understand. And I'm not demonizing work, people. The people watching the Radiant Truth should understand this. Working is very important, but it's not the original plan our Creator had for us. Yeah, we should pray such that we can survive and at least gain something from this. We have seen very many families break apart when the heads of the families die. Case in point, Kafero's family. He spent his lifetime working, toiling. I don't think his property is even still there. they've sold it off all. This one is a clear indicator to show you that it is a curse. We toil in vain.
So, Minister, there's a question also I want to ask you pertaining family life. What do you talk about these men who tell their women not to work, claiming that work is only a role of men? What do you say about that? Is it that women should not work because it was a curse maybe given to only men?
No.
So what do you say about those men who say my wife should sit at home, they should not work because the curse belongs to me alone? Okay, what do you say about that?
Such men, first of all, such men are just insecure.
How?
They're just insecure.
How?
Men watching the Radiant Truth, please, you should let your women work. For us here, we are not demonizing work.
Yeah.
Working is supposed, you are supposed to work. You will not eat. But all in all, you should pray for God's guidance. If you don't, you are thriving in a curse. And what I can tell you, you will labor in vain.
So, Minister Gift, I also have a question for you. That's it. We have some people, religious leaders, who say, I'm going to stop working. I'm going to go and focus only in church. And sometimes they end up being poor. We call them full-time, especially when they are not called. What do you talk about them? They don't work, but is it okay? People should abandon work and be in church.
But because we have one scholar called the Keller Timothy of 1950 to 2023, he said, in every good endeavor, he explained how the Christian understanding of work gives meaning to ordinary jobs and encourage Christians.
So all of you are readers
to
of
use
Timothy's
their
book with Minister Doris.
okay. I have another score I'm going to give you to use to encourage Christians to use their work to serve God and society. There is no how a Christian will say that I'm serving God yet you are not working.
Then what if maybe they have got a call from God?
A call from God, that is also working. When you are in church serving people, it is also part of work. Then there is another scholar, Dorothy Sayers of 1893 and 1957.
Okay.
For her, she said, actually it was in her essay, Why You Work, Why Should People Work? For her, she said, she actually argued that work has value beyond simply earning money. And that Christians should take excellence and creativity in work seriously.
So they have to
Meaning,
work.
as a Christian, don't just say, let me go to church and sit as long as I'm serving
God will
I'm
provide.
God will no, you have to work.
Minister Gift.
They have to put it with actions. Yes,
Yeah.
Minister
Mr.
Gift. Again, I'm repeating it again. Working is not wrong. It is very important for a Christian to work. But what Christians should understand, we are thriving in a curse. It's only by the grace of God that we shall survive. You may work, and it is important for a Christian to work, but you will gain nothing if you're not guided by God. Because when you even read Ecclesiastes again, this time chapter 2, verse 22, let me just read for you. It says, what does a man get for all his hard work on earth? What does he get for all his worries? As long as he lives, his work is nothing but pain and sorrow. This is the Bible. If we don't seek God's guidance and pray hard, we were deemed for a curse and we shall toil for nothing. People have worked and worked and worked and worked. They have left this world very poor and sorrowful.
So, Minister Gift, what do you say about that submission?
Actually, before I wanted to ask you, and I wanted to add on Madam Moderator's question, where they asked you in the Bible how they cast, you keep on talking about cursing, but according to the Bible, even the curse, in that book of Genesis, when God called to Adam and Eve when they had eaten the forbidden fruit in the Garden of Eden, if I'm not mistaken, because the way in your Bible, God cursed Adam only about working. And I remember very well that Eve, that was the wife of who? of Adam. She was only cast made about to feeling that pain when she's giving birth, you know, that is now part of us women. No, actually now this triggers me so much. Madam Moderator, I want to also understand this. This part that we are talking about, are we talking about the other curse of Adam only? Because Minister Isaac,
Generally.
because they said Adam as a man, he was cursed. For whatever he is going to eat from his sweat. Adam, but
And
not
it was not even the Adam alone, even the ground itself was
and
cursed.
the ground.
Maybe let me read for you the curse.
Now, are we part of that curse as women? Because for us, we are just cursed. We feel that labor pain when you are giving birth, those things, and take care of the what? Of the children and the family. That curse of working and sweating, toiling was all put on Adam.
No, you
According
listen to
the
this.
Bible.
So do you say that maybe the curse follows only men?
No, that's
No,
what
no,
I'm
no,
saying.
no, no.
Is it for all of us or it is only for men?
Yes, Mr. Isaac.
Yes, Minister Gift was asking. For her, according to the way she understands the scripture, the curse was deemed for only man.
Okay.
Yeah. This curse was not deemed for
So
only
women,
man.
we are safe.
We are safe.
For us, we are
Women
safe.
are not safe
Okay, why?
because a woman came from a man's rib.
True.
This curse applies on all of mankind.
Okay.
There are very many curses. When you read the book of Genesis, I'm just going to read through very quickly. So the Lord God spoke to the serpent. This was the serpent. Because you have done this, I'm putting a curse on you. You are cursed more than all the livestock. You and the wild animals. You will crawl on the ground. You will eat dust for all the days of your life. This was the serpent.
Okay. So
Then, then God said to the woman, the Lord said to the woman, I will greatly increase your pain, and when you give birth, you will be in pain, and when you have children, then let me rush to Adam. The Lord said to Adam, you have listened to your wife, you have ate the fruit I have commanded you. I am putting a curse on the ground. I am putting a curse on the ground because of what you did.
To Adam,
God even cursed the ground. If he cursed the ground, we can't just center this curse on only men. This curse,
the good thing you read the Bible by yourself. The one for Eve, for a woman, was just feeling labor pain. The one for Adam was that one of cursing the ground even and cursing
the
him.
food that women
Sweat.
eat, does it fall from heaven?
It is from the men whom they cast to work for us.
So what you saw, man, is that work for the family?
Yes.
So if
but
a woman
because
is
that
working,
was
then
just
they
a
can't
question
work for the family.
I wanted to understand whether the curse was for all of us or it was only for a
The
man.
curse was deemed for all mankind,
Okay.
Thank
but
you.
Minister,
okay.
Minister Doris, what's your submission about this? Because I'm totally confused. For us, are we safe?
Now, for
Okay.
me, I'm going back to what Minister Isaac said. And there is something he talked about the work, still of course being a curse. And I wanted to oppose, one of our panelists was able to come in.
Okay.
Now, I just want to add in my voice and say that when we go to Colossians chapter 3, from verse 23 to 24, we shall not read there, but it is commanding believers to work wholeheartedly. Now, why are people looking at work the other side as a curse? It's because we want to work with our own gain, for our own gain.
Yes.
And yet here we're saying that right from the creation story, God created us for his purpose. Therefore, by the time he gave Adam and put him in the garden to work, it was to work for him, working for God. That is why God put him there. If you read it very well in the book of Genesis chapter 2. By the time God put Adam, after creating the whole world and everything in it, he put man there for his purpose. God never put Adam there just for something else. And therefore, when you read Colossians 3, 23 to 24, by the guidance of the Holy Spirit, it is commanding us, the believers, to work wholeheartedly as for the Lord
Whatever you
So we should go back and know that whatever work we are doing, we should work as if we are doing it for the Lord, not for our own selves or for our human masters.
Yes.
Because whenever we have that perception of work that I'm doing for this person, now let's say for instance, maybe the person, your master, maybe is your enemy, whatever. Obviously, you take work as a curse, isn't it? Because you feel like I'm toiling, I'm earning less, blah blah blah, and all that. Therefore, you take it as a curse.
Yeah.
But if it is a blessing, you always bring it back to God. And no, I'm not doing this for my human master. I'm doing this for God. And that is what Colossians, Paul the writer, is telling us. Let us work as though we're doing it for God. Because if we're doing it for the one who put us in this world, then we shall do wholeheartedly. We shall see the work as a blessing and not a curse. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So, Minister Donald, still on that same point, it means that are all the works people involved in godly, or there are those that you say, for me, if it is my daughter, they should not involve in this kind of work. I recommend this kind of work, but however, I don't recommend this kind of work according to the Christian perspective. I want you to give me some work you recommend for Christians and that you don't recommend.
Thank you very much, our moderator. Yeah, I believe that all work is not godly. That is a fact. Because we have some kinds of work that differ and put us in the wrong perception as humans. Because as a human being, you should work with dignity, and you should always work for the glory of God, and as we serve our fellow human beings. But we have some work that is indecent, some work that is not really acceptable in society. For example, I would not advise my daughter to go and work in a bar.
Okay.
I believe that is not a Christian way of doing work, because that alone, the nature of the work, the lifestyle of the people who go there, it does not match with our Christian values. So, but we have other kinds of work that Christians can do that glorify God, at the same time respect human dignity, that a Christian can do, that I believe are also there. Having said that, I believe as a Christian, you can engage in voluntary work, you can engage in formal work where you are paid, you can engage in charitable work, that's also fair enough. But when you look at things like gambling, you look at things like selling in the bar, things like prostitution, I think that is so indecent. They are
even biblically, they are not recommended.
Yes, they don't respect the human dignity. They actually, I don't know how I can put it.
Even above all, you can miss heaven because of such.
Actually, they lead you to sin. In most cases, you lose direction and focus.
To death.
So I believe as Christians, we should know which work glorifies God and which work, is in line with our human dignity, and which work can cause you to sin and lead you to hell. So we have to always be aware that all work is not godly.
Okay, thank you so much, honorable guest. So, Minister Gift, Minister Doris, I want you to give us your final remark about this. What is your final advice? What is your final remark to those people viewing the Radiant Truth?
Yes, thank you so much, our host. Once again, I stand my ground and say that work is a blessing. Work is a blessing, and because of that, I encourage each and every viewer to work for God. Let us work just as Paul has said. Let us work as though we're working for the Lord, not serving our human masters. That way we shall perceive work and deem it as a blessing and not a curse. Thank you.
Some people send greetings too.
Okay, I send my greetings to my family. I also send it to my friends that are watching the show. Thank you so much for following us on all our social medias. Thank you so much.
Wow.
Minister Isaac, your final say.
Thank you so much, my fellow panelists, our host, our camera lady, Minister Mariam. Yes, thank you for taking us through this. For me, I want to conclude by saying that God's original plan of work was a blessing. It was a blessing. But it became a struggle. It only became a struggle
Yes.
when we moved astray. When we defied
fall of man.
God, it became a curse. And we are still thriving in a curse. One of the wise men to walk on the surface of this earth, King Solomon, in Ecclesiastes, one of his books, he said that what does a man get for all his hard work on earth? What does he get for all his worries? As long as he lives, his work is nothing but pain and sorrow. That is Solomon. That's how he's describing this kind of work. Our viewer out there watching the Radiant Truth, just like Minister Doris has told you, involve God in the work you do. That's when it will manifest as a blessing. But if you don't do that, you just keep struggling, you just keep thriving in a curse. Thank you so
So
much.
people send greetings too.
Yeah, I send greetings to my sweetheart as usual.
Okay.
I love her so much.
Yeah.
I wish her all the best.
Oh my God. Okay.
Yes.
Wow. Thank you, Minister. Give your final remark.
Thank you, host, once again. My final remark about work. Of course, I'm going to proudly say that work is inherently a curse. Is not actually inherently a curse.
Yes.
Oh, sorry to say that. I
Hey,
can't go to the
nah.
side
English
of
is
that.
not our mother tongue. English is not our mother tongue.
It's not inherently a curse, but work was part of God's purpose for humanity. Whereas pain, torture, toil, frustration, all those things, they came into human experience of working because of sin. That's what
Because
I
it is a
can.
curse now.
It just came because of man's sin, but it wasn't from God's plan.
So we have to work.
We have to work, of
Okay.
course, and should not take work as a curse. It just came in because of someone who did that wrong to us.
So what do you tell people of Muntungama?
People of Muntungamo, those ones I don't know if Anyway, I send my greetings to everyone there,
Okay.
especially my family, Mr. Jackson Mire, and the wife, Jane Bakatenga, the one and only greatest woman in the whole district. And again, I send my greetings to my husband, that is Mr. Trisha Vincent, and my son, Dr. Ethan, as usual. Then lastly, my clients who support gift cakes and pastries
Okay.
in Mutungo.
Wow.
Thank you so much.
So finally, our honorable guest, what's your final say?
Yeah, thank you, moderator. I would like to profoundly say that work is a blessing. Jesus came onto this world, he worked so hard to change souls, to win souls, and also to redeem the sinners. God worked so hard in the 6 days. Let's have a
He
positive
was toiling
attitude.
in a curse.
Let's have a positive attitude at work. Yeah, because as Christians you cannot survive in this world without work. And let's work for the glory of God.
People you send greetings
Yeah,
to.
I would like to send greetings to my workmates. I want to send greetings to my friends. I want to send greetings to my beloved wife and my family. And to our viewers, thank you for always watching the show. Wish you all the best.
Wow, thank you so much. As you've heard from our different panelists, thank you so much for loving the radiant truth. Let us work. We are blessed beyond the curse. The Bible says God will bless the works of our hands.
Yes.
So let us work above all. Let us work for God. Because we shall toil on earth, we shall leave it here. But when you work for God, that is the best you can give to the Almighty. So I conclude by sending greetings to all those who love the radiant truth. I also send greetings and I thank our camera woman. Thank you so much. Mwah. And I also send greetings. I want to thank our sponsors, Gift Cakes and Pastry. Thank you so much, and may the good Lord bless you.
Amen.
Tune on next Thursday for the radiant truth. Send your comments in the comment section. We are ready to receive them. We sign out. May the good Lord bless you all.